Welcome to the Sincerely Yours podcast. It's a new year and we have a special show for you guys tonight. I'm your girl, Kay Callie, and we have
Cookie and Rissa.
All right. Thank you guys for joining. First of all, before we get into our show tonight, how was your New Year's?
That was great. Quietly. Yeah.
Quiet. Quiet in
Quiet in a good way.
quiet in a good way.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
How about you?
Mine was good. Quiet, relaxing, and spent time with family. So
Intentionality. Yes.
yeah. So sounds like we're all setting a good tone for 2026. So tonight we're going to talk about expired energy and the growth that we're expecting in 2026. So let's get into kind of our first question. Our first question is, what's one thing you're officially retiring in 2025 that you're not taking into 26?
I would say giving people unlimited access to me, personally and professionally.
I like that. I did that. But also not giving myself enough grace. And it's okay to say no. And it's okay to not know certain things.
Yes.
So it's okay to not to be able to do certain things. And then if I fumble in some areas, it's okay. This period, it's okay, and giving yourself grace in that arena. So I think that's going to be our word for 2026, actually.
Grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you said you're going to give yourself more grace. Have you thought about ways that you plan to action that, whether it be like, post-it note reminders or what that? No, what do you have? Yeah.
I think check-ins.
Yeah.
On my own. And then with my friends in my community. So that's something else I've learning to take into 2026 too, or just check-ins with myself. Am I okay in certain areas? Am I not? Where can I give myself grace? Whether that's check-ins throughout the week or daily check-ins when I do devotion, just all those things.
Yeah.
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 What else that looks like of whatever else grace is going to be for me in 2026. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things I think that you mentioned was being able to say no. And so I've been probably like the past 2 years is learning that no is a complete sentence. I've heard that.
Yep.
So you don't have to answer or give anything after that. Like it's a period right after that. It's just no, I can't do it.
Right. Like you have to justify why you're saying, or like you have to explain yourself. Yeah.
Expectations.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that can be hard too, because people always expect more.
Mm-hmm.
So, or no, but why can't you do certain things? Or, okay, but what, it's just, no is no.
Yeah.
And it's okay to live with that. It can be hard for Black women.
It is, because we're used to giving people unlimited access to us. And that's the reason why I'm trying to leave that in 2025.
Those are definitely good. So I think for me, all of those are good. And I would say, I think, I need to work on parts of each of those. I think overthinking for me. I think there's a lot of, and I think it goes back when you say like grace, to giving yourself grace, overthinking. I think there's a part of growth that you have to always like be reflective, like, okay, well, this happened and how could I have showed up differently, but not letting that go too far. I think sometimes I might let that go too far, to being reflective and taking accountability, but you also just have to just move on and keep living.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So let's transition to our next question. So when you think about last year, what did last year teach you about yourself? Something that surprised you? And would it be growth, boundaries, patience, honesty?
I'll say for me, just more self-care. Last year, I took a sabbatical for like 30 days at work. And it really helped me because I was still going through the grief process of losing my mom the year before. And so what really surprised me about myself is how much I really needed the rest. And that was part of just the self-care of staying in the bed all day, literally not doing anything, not answering the phone, but really just like watching movies or watching something motivational, watching a sermon, like something that was just going to take my mind away from just the day to day and just kind of go through that process.
Yeah.
And knowing that it was okay and not feeling guilty when your kids come and say, "Are you still in the bed?" Yeah,
I am.
still in the bed.
Enjoying it.
Right, right. No, that's good. What about you?
I would say not knowing it's okay not to know everything, but also in the space of living here for as many years as I have, for 5 years, and also learning what community looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And then turning that community into friendships that have now turned family. So not to say it's a surprise, but it can also be hard in your adulthood to make new friends and build trust with others. So it's okay to let down that guard sometimes and be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
I've been practicing vulnerability in 2025, which has been hard.
Mm.
Which surprised me about myself, but I've learned that it's a great thing, so I'm carrying that over into 2026.
That's good.
So yeah, I've enjoyed that. It's been hard in all relationships, family, friends, platonic, daily. So
Yeah.
how about you? About you?
I think that's probably something I've already always known, but I think I've been more reflective of it I was more reflective in 2025. How much I don't prioritize self-care and how some things can look like self-care, but it's not,
Mm-hmm.
so
You mean the outward things, the nails, the feet, but focus on more of the.
like really focusing on you. I mean, those things are good. Obviously, I'm not going to stop doing those things. That's not what I'm saying, but really taking care of you. You know what I mean? Like really reevaluating like what that looks like and not, because kind of like the hair, the nails things is kind of like, I don't want to say stereotypical, but kind of, you know what I mean? Like getting my nails done, that's gonna, like that doesn't help your mental health. Right. But it's kind of like it's kind of ingrained in us. So I think for me, it's gonna be like really intentionally figuring out like, what is peace? What is self-care? What brings me peace, or what do I need to work on for myself? And I think as women, as mothers, we get easily distracted
Right.
with that because sometimes we think, I mean, not we probably don't think this, but it looks like that in some ways. We think taking care of others is not taking care of ourselves.
That's right.
So setting those boundaries, I guess, too, with that. So
That's something that's ingrained in us. So I can speak for myself, but just taught to always take care of your people around you, your family. Your friends, always checking in, but you lose yourself sometimes in doing that for other people. So I think that's something that we have to do. Or when you feel weird, something's not right. Okay, well, what do I need to do for myself to get myself back grounded in 100% of what I know I am?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. I heard that.
So what's maybe let's think about one maybe small change that, made a big difference in how you showed up in relationships in your life. So whether it be, platonic, your friendships, romantic, work relationships, all of that. Like, are there things that we've did in 25 or things that we want to do in 26 that's going to change how we show up in our relationships?
I would say have a friend, and she always says check on your strong phrase.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's very intentional about that. And I always, specifically if I go back home to North Carolina, I see my family and I come back. Man, I always check in on your family and friends as you should. Being more intentional, checking in on others, but also in reverse, checking in on me. Yeah. So I think that's something I learned in the space of that. And as I shared before, building community.
Yeah.
Like this space and you all being my friends who've turned into family have been really, really important for me. So that is something I've cherished, you know, and look forward to continuing in the new year.
Yeah. I would say for me, a friend of mine, obviously we're just coming into the new year. So, how you get the New Year's text, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day text. So a good friend of mine sent me a text that said, Happy New Year. And she says, how can I pray for you? How can I pray for you in this upcoming year? And I had to think about it. And I shared some things that I wanted, prayer about. I didn't share detail, and she said, thank you, got you. Then I asked her, how can I do the same thing for her? So I think that when you said like the check-ins, checking in, and that was, maybe that was, I do feel that was her intent, her way of checking in, you know, saying I'm here, and she lives in a different state, so we don't see each other all the time. But I think just that it's the small things that can keep you connected, even, and still have that community, even though, you're not, you don't see her day to day and stuff like that. So, I think for me that made me reflective on maybe me being a little more intentional about my relationships and how I can better check in on people, especially like you said, the people that come across more as the stronger friend. Yeah. Yeah. So what about you?
I would say, you guys kind of talked about intentionality. For me, last year was really about picking up the phone to call. So I tried to do more of when, I was led or God placed somebody on my heart to pick up the phone and actually call. And if they don't answer, it's okay. I just leave a message.
Yeah.
But try to move a little more away from a text and make it more personal to pick up and have that call, because that does make a difference.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm planning to carry that over into this year. Yeah.
I think we all can, this digital age, I think we all can learn a lot from that. Because you shoot a quick text because, it's quick, it's easy, you can multitask. You're
Right.
sitting here, doing something and, let me send this quick text. But I think people do really appreciate, especially in this day and age, the call, and I think sometimes you can get a lot more from people.
It's a little voice.
Exactly. And you can hear things, or like, how's it going? Or how, you can hear things in people's voice. So yeah, well, this was a good discussion, ladies. I appreciate you guys kicking off your New Year's with us. So we're going to wrap up now, and we're going to hear next from our gentlemen in our next segment.
Yeah, what's good, family? I have to, definitely introduce my panel, my guests, my co-pilots with me again. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Big Mike.
Brandon, or B or Boogie, whichever one y'all want to go with. We'll go with B this time.
All right, it's the new year, so you got to decide which one.
We'll go with B. we going with B this year.
All right. So, so 2026, everybody has made, their New Year projections and, vows. One of the most common one is everybody said they're going to lose weight to get in the gym. And by January 15th, they reverted back to their old practices. So we're going to skip that and really talk about some very realistic things. But before we do that, what's one thing or a few things that you officially are retiring in 2025?
What am I retiring in 2025? For me, it's just the concept of anything that's going to disrupt my peace. Anything or anyone that's going to disrupt my peace and my progress. Not meaning I'm perfect, but in the past, sometimes I let things and people interrupt my peace and my progress. And in 2026, I'm not going to do that. I'm leaving that in 2025 to ensure that I do what I need to do.
I love it. It's clean, direct, and kind of stole my thunder, but
I'm going to piggyback off of that a little bit, especially when it comes to the piece. But for me, it's limiting access. That's my big thing. Like understanding some people in your life for certain seasons, some people will take advantage of what they currently have going on. So limiting the time I spend with certain people, especially if it's not going in a positive direction, and keeping that peace. That's big.
Yeah, sure. Since I stole your thunder, go ahead and give me some.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. As Big Mike said, I think for me, not I think I know, leaving anyone or anything that's preventing me from meeting my purpose, right? Um, as you said, I think, and a lot of people, we don't really prioritize time
Ah,
and access,
That's real.
right? Being in my presence is an honor. And it's not that I have myself on a high pedestal. Yes, I think a lot of myself, but given my access and my time and my attention, that should mean something. That should mean the world, because time is one of those things you can't get back. So that's one of the things at the forefront that I'm going to leave in 2025. Right.
good. That's good.
And I think it all really comes down to what both of you guys are saying is just prioritizing, mental health, spiritual health,
For sure.
emotional health. And I think that's really impacted by the people that you allow in your space and your circle.
Oh,
So really focusing on limiting that access, moving anyone or anything that's preventing me from meeting my purpose. All right. So what did last year teach you the most about yourself that surprised you?
for me, it was silence is king. I will say that was probably my biggest learning lesson for this year is, life happens. People put you in situations that you might not want to be in, but understanding that silence is so key. Like you can say a lot without saying anything at all, and allowing people to do the things that they feel like they need to. And you just say, cool. If you feel like this is how you need to move and operate, I don't agree with it. I don't have to validate how I feel about certain things or try to prove my point. I'm gonna just let you do what you need and allow time to kind of tell all. So for me, with silence, just being quiet, letting God move for you, putting it in His hands.
I love that. I love that. I think it comes full circle. We were talking about, just a few minutes ago about controlling access and time. I love how you framed it because I think a lot of people, you yield power to people by going back and forth with them.
Absolutely.
It's hard to have a dialogue or a conversation when you're the only one talking.
Yes.
So I love that point.
Yeah, I love that also. It's just not letting. I'm just piggyback, but that's mine. Not letting people drag me into the deep.
Yes.
Because what people and things do, they drag you into the deep. They drag you into where you don't want to go. You feel like I have to go there, and why do you? You don't have to. So not letting that situation or person dragging you into that deep, into that area where you like, I shouldn't have went there. How many the times we come back and say, I shouldn't have did
It's usually a defense mechanism.
that. That's what it is.
It's like when you're young, your mom tell you or your father tell you, if somebody hit you, hit them back. It seems like it's like a necessity that we engage in verbal warfare. And I love what you're saying. I love what both of you are saying because you really don't.
You don't have to.
If you're daddy, you don't respond, then it's really something wrong with them if they continue to war on by themselves. So yeah,
That's what it's not about.
And that's what happens though. You go in places that you shouldn't go. And that takes, now you even take a step back.
Yeah.
Because now you go back and question yourself.
So is that what you learned from last year?
Yeah,
about
because
yourself?
I used to let people take
Control
deep.
it. Yeah.
Controlling, not letting people take me to that deep zone and then be like, as you said, I value myself. Are they worth me going back and forth? I control that.
Yeah.
Because eventually we're going to say some things that's not going to help the situation.
Yeah.
Now we just created another problem on top of the initial problem.
Or some things you can't come back from. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So I love that as well. So for me, I'm going a slightly different angle. Because I think, in the new year, we need to be, if we're using these platforms, right? We need to be a part of the solution. And I think one thing in our community, especially as brothers, Black men, just being overly macho, right? So it's coming full circle for me. One thing that I learned about myself in 2025 that really surprised me is that I didn't have to do it all by myself. You know what I mean? I've built a coalition. I've built a tribe of people who love me and want to see me win. And, for so many years, I was very guarded. And, I always felt like I had to do everything by myself and never reach out. So I would say that. And then I guess the second part of it for me is the benefit of therapy. In 2025, I committed the cardinal sin in our community and my family, especially getting therapy.
Oh,
And no, it's real. No, I mean,
It's beautiful though.
It surprised me because I never imagined that I would go to this stranger, complete stranger, and just open up about things that I've compartmentalized for 40 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And being able to go into that situation and some say, whatever, but being open and being transparent and being vulnerable. So to wrap it up, because that's a whole nother show.
that's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show we're going to get to later in the year. But that's what I would say that really surprised me and just the benefit of it.
Okay.
All right. So the third question, what's one small change that each of you made a big difference in how you show up in relationship? It could be platonic relationships, spouses, parental, whatever the relationship is. What's one small change that you made that you noticed a big difference?
I have focused more on listening than just hearing.
Active listening.
Active.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a skill.
Before, I was hearing, distracted, whatever. But really focus when a person comes to listen.
Yeah.
To be able to either just listen or provide the best opinion or advice possible. When I was just hearing, wasn't taking it all in because I was distracted or whatever the situation is or emotional.
Well, listening to respond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever it may be, but just really buckling down and investing in.
Yeah.
And being there for that person because it goes back to what you said, the value of you. That person values you enough to come talk to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you have to take it as a honor there. You value me that much to speak upon something that's deep for you. I need to listen.
That's real.
I like that. I'll say for me is not assuming ill intent. Like if somebody comes to you about something, hearing them for what they're saying and not how it's making you feel in the moment. Like whether that's relationship, whether that's just friends. Like me, I run quite a bit, so sometimes, people that I run with, they'll come and say, hey, mate, you might want to work on this, whatever the case may be. And not taking it as, oh, you just think I'm not who I could be, or whatever the case may be. But like just not assuming ill intent, like understanding that, most people, when they come to you or have these conversations, is usually because it's coming from a place of love. And always remembering that and not just to look at you as I'm trying to take advantage of you or I'm trying to destroy what you currently have going on.
I like that. I love that actually. I guess it's my time. I'm gonna say being graceful in all of my relationships.
Yeah.
Because grace is bi-directional, or it should be. It's not always, but it should be, right? And, I'm a type of person like the relationships that I have, I really value and I really cherish. With that being said, you can do the wrong thing and end up die all by good side. So, giving grace and not misinterpreting things. You know what I mean? Because I think that, as you said, misevaluating or over evaluating a situation or a relationship can be equally toxic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think sometimes just giving grace and understanding of where that person may be, emotionally, physically, mentally, what have you. And, just working on giving grace. And, I have a very high standard of myself and the people that I choose to engage with, again, because, relationships mean the world to me. But it takes a lot for me to be willing to go there with you. So just giving grace, understanding, and, lowering, expectations.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right. Again, I can't expect you to carry yourself the level, the discipline of the way I do. So I think that's one, a major change that I've implemented in my whole relationship process.
I like good.
I like that.
Yeah.
Meeting people where they are sometimes.
Meeting people where they are.
Which is key.
So I think leaving it right here would be a great pivot or transition into our next segment. What do you guys think?
Let's get it. I think so.
All right. Cool.
Thank you guys for joining. Let's have a little fun before we get into your questions. I definitely want to talk to you guys a little bit more as a couple and hear more about, your goals as we go into 26. But first, let's have a little fun. Y'all up for it? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So trash or treasure? Netflix binges until 3 a.m.
Treasure.
Trash.
Okay. Communicating feelings honestly.
Treasure.
Treasure. She treasure.
Okay. I think I know what this one is going to be for both of you guys. Social media stalking your ex.
Trash.
Right. Yes. All right. And last one, Sunday morning cuddles.
Treasure.
Treasure. Aww. She's stealing my thunder. Treasure.
All right. So as we're moving into, as we're in 26 now, because we are here, what's one thing that you all want to be more intentional about as a couple?
I would say communication.
Hmm.
I don't think you ever can master communication. I think you just kind of progress and learn because you evolve over years. And so I would have to say we need communication.
Communication. All right. What you got, Big Mike?
Ditto. Nah. Communication. I agree with Cookie. Communication. But for me, also being more intentional with our relationship, being more in tune with us and doing the things I need to do to make her feel very, very special.
Yeah.
I like that. And, always our intention, never want to leave out our God's side of it either. So, definitely want to be on that side to be more intentional with that. But that communication part is very important.
Agree.
All right. Well, thank you guys. This was fun. This was fun. We're gonna hear from our next couple. Thank you guys for joining. We have Rissa and we have B. All right, so before we're going to talk to you guys a little bit as a couple. Want to hear about how you guys are going to move into 26 and any New Year's resolutions that you guys have for you guys as a couple. But before we do that, we want to get into some icebreaker questions. So it's called Trash or Treasure. All right. So the first one, Netflix or Tubi?
Netflix, definitely. Tubi sometimes.
Tubi.
They got the good.
Okay, trash or treasure. All right. So next one, communicating feelings honestly.
Treasure. It's a treasure, but it could be hard.
Respectfully, I would,
Yeah.
as a guy, I'm gonna have to say trash. I'm not gonna lie, like, no,
Well, you're honest, so you're working on that. Okay.
well, it's not really work. I just think for us, we as guys, we kind of understand that whatever we bring to y'all, we're gonna have to deal with, as well as still figuring out a solution. So we're putting on more effort for
Oh,
us.
so being honest, I mean, that brings a lot more. You feel like that brings a
Yeah,
lot more.
like if I come to you and say I'm having a hard time or finances are down, that's gonna worry you.
We literally just talked about this. Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
do just talk about this.
So okay. All right, so let's move on. All right, so this one I'm sure is going to be a trash for both, but I'm gonna ask: social media stalking and X.
Trash.
Trash. All right, unanimous. All right, last one: Sunday morning cuddles.
Everyday cuddles, treasures.
Treasure.
Good, because treasure.
That is treasure.
Treasure, you heart it. Okay. All right. So now let's move into the discussion. So how do you guys reconnect, recharge as a couple when things get stressful? You you brought up some things about communication, but how do you guys do that? And if there are things maybe in 25 that was an area you guys need to work on, but as you move into 26, I mean, what are you guys thinking about reconnecting, recharging, and how do you do that?
I think for us, we learned this from one of our other couple friends we truly love. You all know who you are. Of weekly check-ins and daily check-ins as needed, specifically with different situations that may come up, where, whether we're stressed out, both with family, friends, professional spaces, doing check-ins. And we can also tell when one another's demeanor is off or actions are different. I think that's been helpful for us, and he alluded to communicating. So that is always something we can always work on in a relationship. So,
Yeah. And I think when you say communication, so our other couple, Miss Cookie, made a good point of, and it's something I just want to echo. You guys obviously will hear it when she says it, but that communicating is like a lifelong thing that we have to do within relationships. It's not, because the way you communicate with, when you first meet, or the way you need to now communicate when you're, married, kids, life stress, it may look different. So I think you have to think about communication in terms of evolution, that it's not going to be something that's static. Right. So, yeah.
I would say for me, it's more meeting your partner where they are. So a big thing is entering your partner's space. So like if one partner specifically likes to be like in an office setting where they're in like their man cave, that's me personally, like spending the time, even if you don't like specifically talk about anything, it's like actually being in their presence and their energy to say, hey, even though this isn't something that I specifically do on a daily basis, I'm still willing to sit in what you currently do to understand you better. And like I said, conversations happen from there, vice versa. If it's something that she likes to kind of do, meeting your partner where they are and having those conversations, even if they don't happen, but just saying, I'm open to whatever you have to say, and not really forcing things, letting things happen organically.
Yeah. No, I like that. And I think also what I'm hearing is the organic piece, but also the compromise. I think a lot of times in relations or just with anything in life, if you have to give up a little bit of something to gain greater. So this has been a good discussion. Thank you guys for stopping by. We're gonna check in with our next couple. We appreciate it.
We appreciate y'all for having us on.
Anytime.
All right, welcome back. Now we get to turn the tables on You guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just jump right on in.
Let's do it.
All right. What's one habit or dynamic you both agree needs to stay in 2025?
I would say not fully communicating or finishing conversations. I think sometimes we we definitely communicate, but I think we gotta work on the resolution piece, like closing the deal. So I think making sure that there's closure with communication in a simplistic way.
All right. What's one thing you want to be more intentional about as a couple in 2026?
You go first.
Expectations.
Okay.
Yeah, expectations. I think in relationships and specifically, marriage, most take the I do's and commit state your vows. But I think that everyone grows. She's not the same person she was when I met her, and neither I'm not the same man that she met many, many years ago. And I think that marriage is it's a contract that's constantly renewed. And that's what I would say. It's just really meeting expectations of each other, right? And communicating them effectively.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like the renewal part. I think if more people that go into marriages think about it like that, I think more marriages could be successful or maybe not even happen.
How about that?
Yeah. So what about you?
Um, so the question was like being more intentional in 26.
About each other as a couple.
Yeah. I think we do this a lot, but I think it's never too much. I think traveling, like more traveling, connecting, because when you travel together, you really get a chance to like really, if it's you two, or if you go with friends or family, but connecting with just you two. So I think more traveling, and I think traveling to new places that you've never been. That also is a way to connect because then that's something that you guys can enjoy together.
All right. Well, let's wrap it on up.
That was it. That went about fast.
That was pretty quick, huh? All right. How do you reconnect when life gets busy or stressful?
I'll take this one.
Okay.
Keeping your eye on the prize, right? Because life is challenging. It's a lot of complexities. There's a lot of the unknown. And I think relationships that really work, despite it all, being able to isolate or block out the noise and just focusing on the larger goal, the larger picture. I think that should always, you'll find solace and become regrounded, refocused on what really matters. So that's what I try to do. I'm not always successful, but I try to do that. And that gives or provides a little bit more energy, a little bit more oomph in, my pursuit to try to get things back on the right track.
That's great. I love that answer. What you got?
I like that answer too. So this is about reconnecting, recharging.
It's busy or stressful.
Yeah, I think intimacy is really important. And not just sex.
Right.
Intimacy, connecting, and really being open and vulnerable to your mate. I think over the years, some of that you have to work at it. Yeah. You have to work at it more. You know what I mean? You can't, just because it was like that, years ago, you have to still work at it to be stronger and stronger, especially when life starts lifing. So I think that's something. So having that intimacy helps you reconnect, recharge when you need that.
Always keeping your eye on the prize.
Always on the
Right.
prize. Yep.
Always on the prize.
One last thing, if I could add, I think every day when you wake up, you both have to choose one another,
Yes.
and that goes back to the whole the renewal process, right? I think the relationships that work, through the good, the bad, you wake up on a consistent basis and say, I choose this person, land beside me. And I think a lot of people don't really understand that, or they go in it with the wrong expectations for whatever reasons. But I think that's like the best or the most profound advice somebody gave me, my mentor gave me a while back. So, yeah.
All right. Well, this has been a great episode on behalf of your guest. We just want to really thank you for having us and sharing your space with us.
No, we thank you guys. And more of these episodes in 2026. I think that while I'm sure our fans, our subscribers, our viewers, they enjoy myself and Kay Callie. I think bringing friends and family into the fold and giving different perspectives. And I think that makes it a more well-rounded show. And I think that it resonates with the audience. So 26, the next big show for the Sincerely Yours podcast, we're going to kick off our Black Love series. We're going to be highlighting 10 different couples, various age groups, just different dynamic backgrounds, and trying to really dissect the dichotomy, if you will, or the diversity within Black love and the challenges and how do they persevere through it. So 26 will be a phenomenal year for the podcast, both podcasts, but really focus around solutions in our community. That's what the Sincerely Yours podcast was created for. And I think tonight we really kicked it off right for 2026.
All right. Thank you so
All
much.
right, so let's do a toast as we close out. So cheers to
26 in the Sincerely Yours podcast.
That first kiss is always delicious and fun. Can't deny the hunger for my sweet honey bun. Looking soft to the touch, and you know what I want. That anticipation, it's what I'm banking on. Already now, baby, no